Pioneers of Modern Narcissism, what a mouthful, is another song that stands for one of the bad pursuits, which is the ego. Lyrically, this song can be seen as somewhat of a continuation of the social criticism of the fake the new kind of beauty. Fake was about the standardization of the appearance based on social media, whereas Pioneers is more about the need for the appreciation for photos or whatever. Also, it creates contrasts to my previous single, Wrong Doors, which was about the frustration from the lack of appreciation for something you put your whole being into. You create something and then there is no appreciation. That sucks. Pioneers looks at it more from a viewpoint of a social media, how much appreciation we actually want and need for pretty vague things like a photo of yourself or a photo of your dog or a photo of food that you've eaten or you running outside. I'm not saying that these things don't take effort per se, but it's not really like writing a song or writing a book. Also, this whole dependency on the appreciation on social media, I think that it's a relatively new problem. I think that it's been going on for like last 15 to 20 years, basically ever since the social media started being present. Our parents, for example, I don't think they've faced a problem like this. So that's why the song is called Pioneers of Modern Narcissism. I'm not saying there weren't any narcissists before. The term modern really refers to social media in the context of this lyric. I think that social media sort of invites this illusion of a perfect life, or basically you trying to present yourself in the best way possible, sometimes entering that sci-fi realm where you just basically present yourself in a way that's pretty far from what you actually are. I think all of this makes us the pioneers of modern narcissism, myself included to some degree. I wrote the lyrics back in 2016 and I haven't really changed much since revisiting it for the second album. The only thing I added was the mid-section before the solo, which I doubled. The whole section, these cyber veins, they control somehow what pleases our brains. That's a newly written part that I wrote like a year and a half ago for the sake of the song, because I just felt that the section was too short. But other than that, the rest of the lyric pretty much stayed the same as I wrote it back in 2016. There are a couple of questions that arise from these lyrics, so I'm gonna ask them now, and feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Have you ever posted a lie? What I mean by this, it can be as innocent as posting a picture where you look much better than you do in real life. I don't want to dwell on this too much because we all have done that, I've done that multiple times. Like, can you imagine posting a photo where you look worse than in real life? This question is more related to stuff where you actually create a false image of yourself. Let's imagine an example where you have a family with a very dysfunctional relationships, but they post these photos where they sort of present themselves as the perfect family, like everybody's happy, they're just one idyllic family. Whereas in real life, it's anything but. It can be also, for example, imagine that you go running twice in your life and you make a post about it and you kind of make it sound like you're this advocate for a healthy lifestyle and that this is what you do. You're creating a false image. You're basically creating a lie about yourself. So now, let's be honest, have you ever done that before? And the thing is that people don't necessarily have to care about it, and that's basically what the chorus of Pioneers is about. It's almost as if we feel the pressure to create the perfect image of ourselves, of our lives, because otherwise people wouldn't care, wouldn't be interested in us, wouldn't appreciate us. So once again, have you ever posted a lie? Let me know in the comment section below, and be specific if you can, if you're brave enough.
And let your ego rise with every lie. No one cares what is behind those lies. You're creating one big mirage. All that's real is being camouflaged.
Why is it that we need hearts and likes on social media? If you post a picture or you post something, that is on your mind, you probably don't do that so that nobody would care about it. Like, seriously, if you posted a photo and you would have no reaction, no likes, no whatever, you would probably delete the picture or you would re-upload it maybe at a better time or whatever. Like, it's almost encrypted in our brain that there has to be some reaction for whatever we post. So now tell me, why is it that we really need it so much? Imagine you have some success. You're an artist and some big magazine writes about you. Let's say you work out at the gym and you go to some competition and you win. We post about all of this because we are pioneers of modern narcissism and we want to brag about it in a way, and we want to let others know that, hey, look, I'm successful. So why is it that we need this appreciation? And just to be clear, I'm as guilty as charged. Whatever success I come across, I usually share it, but it kind of goes hand in hand with being an artist, because if you don't do that, then people just wouldn't really know about you. So basically that's what the second verse of my latest single Pioneers is about, how much we want that appreciation for for whatever we post, but at the same time, how much we're afraid of negative criticism. So that's the question. Why is it that we need this appreciation? And the second question, could you imagine posting anything on social media without being interested in the reaction? Let me know in the comments below if it would be okay for you.
We've become the slaves of prestige, yet consider ourselves an elite. Desperate need for being recognized, a fragile fear of being criticized.
How many times per day do you check your phone? We live in an era of smartphones and we can basically use the phone for anything. How many times per day do you check your phone to check on your social stats, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever? For me personally, in the last couple of years, it's been mostly about statistics, but I still sometimes do it even when I'm just bored. Imagine that you're waiting for something and you check all of these social media, and then a minute later you check them again. And like in that 1 minute time frame, probably nothing has changed, but you check them anyway. There was this pretty life-altering experience I had. I was playing with my son. He's not even 3 years old, and I was just checking, some of the stats, and he was like, "Dad, put the phone down." As stupid as I am, he had to tell me a couple of the times. But then I realized, I don't want him to see me with the phone ever again when I'm with him. I don't want to send this message that, I ignore you because I have the phone and I'm doing something more interesting than being with you. This is what happened even with my parents and so on. I'm very cautious about it and I try to really stay away from it. So here's the question for you. How many times do you check your phone per day? And can you make anything to reduce that number? Let me know in the comments. And this is what the mid section before the soloing pioneers is about. It's almost as if we're living in a matrix via our smartphones.
Lost in the matrix, we depend on how our lives are rated. These cyber veins, they control somehow what pleases our brains.
I often feel tired and exhausted from social media. Do you feel the same way? To be honest, if I wasn't an artist, I would probably not care about Instagram or TikTok or even Facebook whatsoever. I often feel this pressure that I need to post, I need to keep, my social presence, even though I don't necessarily want to. Sometimes you have things to say, sometimes you have things to share, but sometimes you don't. And those moments when you don't have anything interesting to share, those are really problematic. Last year, I went a couple months without posting anything on Instagram, which isn't abnormal or anything. It's one of the features of being an artist which I wouldn't really miss if it was, absent or whatever. So let me know, do you ever feel tired and exhausted from it like I do? Let me know in the comments.